Hi, Assalamualaikum, good morning. Alright, so for today I want to explain you how do we arrange the equations given in determining the gradient, also the y-intercept. Alright, so this is very important, okay, mostly for our lab test later. So remember, we need to know how to rearrange the equations given in the question, and then how to determine the gradient, also the y-intercept, okay. Then we just continue by the calculation. So for today, I want to give you two examples. Alright, so let's discuss together how to arrange back the equations given here. Okay. Okay guys, so let's focus on these two questions. I want to focus on question number 5, also question number 9. Okay, 5, also 9. Okay, so how do you answer these two questions? By asking you to calculate something from the graph, then we need to know which physical quantities now representing the y-axis, also the x-axis. Then you may know the gradient and the y-intercepts. Alright, so based on this, normally we need to rearrange back the equations. Alright, and then we just compare with the linear graph equation, which is y equals to mx plus c. Okay guys, so the equation given now is t squared equals to 4 pi squared h over g minus 4 pi squared h over g. Alright, so they ask you to sketch a graph of t squared against h squared. So based on that, this is the y component and this is the x component, isn't it? So the main equation for any linear motion graph, for any linear graph is y equals to mx plus c. So we need to arrange the equations where y now should be t squared against x, which is h. Alright, so by rearranging the equations, what do we get now? Okay, suppose to be like this. So t squared equals to negative 4 pi squared over g h plus 4 pi squared h over g. So based on that, the equation is y equals to mx plus c. So this is the y component, which is t squared, and this is the x component, which is h, so that this is our m, which is 4 pi squared over g, where the gradient is negative. Alright, and then this is our y-intercept, which is c. So based on that, the graph should be like this lah. Okay, what do we have? This is the graph. Okay, which is t squared against h. So now the gradient is negative and the y-intercept representing something which is positive, isn't it? So the graph just be like this. So this is the graph where the y-intercept now is 4 pi squared h over g, and now this is our gradient, m. So m now equals to negative 4 pi squared h. Sorry, it's not no more h. H is the x-axis. Okay, so over g. Alright, so for question number 5, the answer is gradient equals to negative 4 pi squared over g, and then the y-intercept now equals to 4 pi squared h over g. Alright, so this is the gradient and this is the y-intercept. Next, question number 9. The equation given now is t squared equals to 4 pi squared over k multiplied by m plus ms over 3. Alright, so they ask you to plot the graph of t squared against m. Alright, so the graph should be t squared against m. So what is the gradient and what is the y-intercept here? Alright, okay. So based on this, we need to rearrange the equation first. So we just expand the equation first. What do we get? 4 pi squared m over k equals to plus 4 pi squared ms over 3k. Alright, so remember the x-axis is small m, then we need to rearrange the equation. What do we get? T squared equals to 4 pi squared over 3k ms plus 4 pi squared m over k. So according to the general equation of linear graph, y equals to mx plus c. So t squared now representing our y-axis, ms now representing our x-axis, so that this is our gradient and this is our y-intercept. Okay, so based on this, the graph should be like this lah. The gradient is positive and the y-intercept now represents something, isn't it? So it's not equal to 0, still positive for the y-intercept, so the graph will be like this. So the y-intercept now equals to 4 pi squared m over k. Alright, and then the gradient, this is the gradient, which is m equals to 4 pi squared over 3k. Okay, so this is the way. So again, the gradient should be equals to 4 pi squared over 3k, and then for the y-intercept it just equals to 4 pi squared m over k. Alright, so this is gradient and this is the y-intercept, where this is our y component and this is our x component. Based on this question, they ask you to sketch a graph of t squared against small m here. Alright, okay, so this is the way. How do we identify the y and the x-axis first? Then based on that, we may know what is the gradient, also the y-intercept. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Good luck.